热带岛国斯里兰卡因其地形酷似水滴形状，被称作印度洋上的一滴眼泪。斯里兰卡有着美丽的海滨、神秘的古城、丰富的自然遗产、独特的文化。中国和斯里兰卡互为传统友好邻邦，建交60多年来，两国始终在相互尊重、平等互利的基础上推进双边关系发展。今天的共建“一带一路”大使谈，就让我们一起走进斯里兰卡大使馆，采访斯里兰卡驻华大使帕丽塔·科霍纳先生。Your Excellency, thank you for taking the interview with us. I have learned that you had visited China for several times before serving as the Sri Lankan ambassador to China in 2020. Through these experiences, what are the most memorable stories you have on China? It would be great if you could share with us some of them.
The most significant impression I carry, the most memorable impression, is the way China has changed over the years, the way China has developed. I came here 18 times, and on every visit I saw something different. Something has changed, something has improved, from narrow roads, slow trains, to high-speed railway networks, expressways, everywhere. This country is now crisscrossed by 177,000 kilometers of expressways, 42,000 kilometers of high-speed train tracks. These were unthinkable, say, 30 years ago. And then look at the cities. They're green cities, glittering cities, and the people are now well-fed, well-dressed, and to me, they look very satisfied, content. This is the biggest impression that I have carried, and it still continues to impress me, because China hasn't stopped growing. It keeps on developing.
Now, China is gradually resuming outbound tours. From your point of view, what measures will Sri Lanka take to attract Chinese tourists?
For a long time, we had the epidemic to deal with. Now travel has been relaxed. In fact, Sri Lanka is one of the 20 countries in the pilot scheme for group travel. We are very happy that China has included Sri Lanka. We are now expecting hundreds of thousands of Chinese tourists to visit Sri Lanka. The first plane load of Chinese tourists was greeted at the airport by our Minister for Tourism and the Tourism Bureau, because we were so happy that the Chinese were returning to Sri Lanka. My embassy has been promoting Sri Lanka very actively. A week ago, we had a major promotion here. We invited the media and the travel operators of China. Sri Lanka is a wonderful place to visit. It's been identified by many travel journals in the world as the place to visit, the place that you cannot avoid visiting.
Yes, let's all look forward more people-to-people exchanges between the two countries. As we know, the year 2023 marks the 10th anniversary of the China Proposed Belt and Road Initiative. What development opportunities have been brought to Sri Lanka by the BRI?
Sri Lanka, like many other countries, has benefited significantly from the BRI. As we know, the BRI is intended to create shared prosperity. We have the Colombo port city to show for it, the Hambantota port and related industrial zone. We also have a number of highways constructed under this project. Sri Lanka will continue to look forward to more BRI-related investments. For example, the Colombo port city is located right in the middle of the Indian Ocean. There will be facilities for high-tech education, for modern healthcare, leisure living, and financial facilities. Similarly, the Hambantota port is being used as the major transshipment point for motor cars and trucks and other similar vehicles. It is beginning to return a profit, and we know that in the years to come, it will become much more and more successful as a port.
Yeah, as you have mentioned, the steady progress of the cooperation projects such as the Hambantota port and Colombo port city are outstanding examples to the achievements of BRI. How will such projects benefit Sri Lanka?
First, if you have a modern city adjoining the existing Colombo city, that will generate employment, generate income, also bring in modern technology and modern thinking will literally help Sri Lanka push itself into the modern age. This will be a catalyst for bringing us right into the middle of modernity. Similarly, the Hambantota port will also generate considerable revenue, will generate a large number of jobs and create industry. Then of course the highways will make journeys shorter, will contribute to conserving fuel and also help people to transport goods from one end of the country to Colombo and vice versa. Economically, these highways will play a very useful role in the future in developing Sri Lanka.
How do local people feel about such projects?
I believe that the average person is looking forward to these benefits. In large projects of this nature, the benefits don't flow immediately, they take time. You have to invest large amounts of money to create projects of this magnitude, and they take time to return profits. The local people are looking forward to this, especially those who are educated in high technology, because they are all waiting to find employment in the two projects, the Colombo Port City and Hambantota. In addition, the Colombo Port City will also host modern educational facilities. These will also be a major attraction to our people.
Thank you for sharing. Through alignment between China and Sri Lanka on each other's development strategies and joint efforts on high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, what achievements have been made?
There are many ways in which you look at the achievements. First and foremost, Sri Lanka has received these investments to enable us to create projects which will help us in the long term. Not in the short term, the benefits will go long into the future, that's one. I will also hope that these projects will generate goodwill between the two countries and bring the two people together. And also by China investing in Sri Lanka, it could also act as a catalyst for other countries to invest in Sri Lanka. The Chinese investment might very well have that catalytic effect. I can see that happening even now.
In recent years, in addition to economic and trade exchanges, China and Sri Lanka have also been strengthening cooperation in digital economy and service trade. How do you think digital connectivity can empower the development of both countries?
The digitalization revolution is going to be, in most people's view, the next industrial revolution. And one thing I notice in China is that China is way ahead of most countries in this respect. So if Sri Lanka can tap into the Chinese technology, digitalized technology, we certainly can do very well. There are many hundreds of Sri Lankan students now studying in China. We hope that many of them will acquire skills in the digital field, which will be very beneficial to Sri Lanka. So I think by learning from China, Sri Lanka can become a technological hub in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
From your point of view, what other areas should China and Sri Lanka focus on for high-quality Belt and Road cooperation?
There are 2 or 3 areas that China and Sri Lanka cooperate on. There are areas where Sri Lanka has strengths in. Agriculture is one. So with cooperating with Chinese companies, we can do much better in our agriculture. Sri Lanka is a major exporter of black tea in the world. But one thing I noticed in China is that tea is no longer only a drink that you have in the morning and in the afternoon. There are so many products that are developed from tea. Sri Lanka also can do things like that, and cooperating with Chinese companies may very well be the way to go. We also have a large amount of strategic minerals like graphite, mineral sands, which are becoming increasingly valuable in the modern age to support the digital industry. Chinese companies and Sri Lankan companies can cooperate in exploiting, refining and making commodities out of these minerals. It's also endless source of seafood. Sri Lanka could be a major supplier to the Chinese market.
Yes, we're looking forward to more and more cooperation between the two countries. So that comes to the end of this interview. Thank you very much for your time.